In this final session, we are going to talk about how to import a rendered image sequence into After Effects and also make sure that we've got consistent colors throughout. So the idea is that what we see in Maya, we want to make sure we can see the same things in After Effects, or the same colors with the same brightness and the lights. And finally, when we render out the final sequence out of After Effects into a video file, we also want to have the same colors. So that's the whole point. So we've got Maya, this is Maya, and then we've got After Effects. Want to make sure the colors are the same. Primarily the brightness, as you can see in this highlight, we want to make sure that's the same. And also when we render out of After Effects into a final video for submission, then we want to retain the same quality. So that's the whole point. So to do this, first of all, before we get into After Effects, what we need to do, and I'm sure your Maya has already got the default settings. We just have to double check that we've got the right color profiles. And if I go to Preferences in Maya, Settings, Color Management, we can now see ACES CG is our rendering space, display space is sRGB, and we view it in our rendering view in Arnold with ACES 1 SRD, which is this one. And to achieve the same thing in After Effects, we've got to download something first. So if we go to Google and look for OpenColorIO for After Effects, now this is it's a system, some kind of a configuration that that we use in film production pipelines, and luckily Autodesk has actually adopted this and is part of Maya. I don't know what's happening with the latest After Effects. Maybe it's already been inbuilt. I know that it was in beta stage, but for now we have to download this plugin. So download it, and once you download the plugin, I think in my case I've already downloaded it. Let me just go to my documents. Actually, desktop, OpenColor plugin. So you have to kind of unzip this thing. Just going to go to yes to all, and I'm going to grab a copy of this one and go to my C drive, look for program files, Adobe, and we're going to put it into After Effects plugins, After Effects 2020, support files, and I'm looking for plugins. And as you can see, it's already there. I can just paste it there because I've already done this. I'll just paste it anyway. And I think it's not working because After Effects is on, so I'm just turning it off anyway. It could be you need permission. I have permission. That's it. I think I had to wait for the After Effects to close. So I'm gonna bring in After Effects from scratch. Just give me a second on this one. And in the meantime, you can also look for ACES color space. So you can do some research on this, what is color space and why we have to use ACES and so on and so forth. Okay, so After Effects is on. It says that I've got a duplicate version of this one. It's fine, I'll delete it later on. Okay, so you will get this window. I'm just going to close this off, and we've got a new project. Now, I'm not going to talk about how to use After Effects for now. This is all about using After Effects just simply to export the image sequence that we rendered out of Maya and convert that into a video file. But in its simplicity, what we have a project window. This is similar to Maya's outliner. It's like a library, and then you've got your timeline, and then you've the stage, which is the composition stage. And then we've got all other tools, things like effects and so on and so forth. We only need the effects section for now. Once the After Effects is on, what we need to do is just double click on the project window, or you can simply go to File, Import. I prefer the shortcut, and we would like to import those images that we've rendered out of Maya. So I'm gonna find the folder, click on the first image, and then make sure this OpenEXR sequence is on, and import. And then we've got this information. Now, unfortunately, After Effects somehow didn't recognize the frame rate. It is 30 frames per second here, but we need to make sure that it's 24 frames per second. So I'm just going to hold on to the right mouse button on the footage, interpret footage, main, and I'll put 24 in the assume this frame rate option and click OK. Now it's 24 frames per second. And because I know the size, I can drag and drop it on here, or I can hold on to the right mouse button, new composition from selection, or I can simply drag and drop it on the timeline. They all work. Now, as you can see, when I hold on to the middle mouse button or use the space bar to track it, here we go. And then, as you can see, the colors that we see here, including this specular highlight, they're not the same as the ones that we see in Maya. So I'm just going to bring this down. Okay, so After Effects one is washed out. Maya's one has got more of less saturation, vivid colors, and certainly the highlights are better, as you can see. Anyway, going back to After Effects, to solve this, the first thing we need to do, make sure that our project settings, so that's here, where it says 32 BPC, we need to click on that one, and we could just pick 32-bit per channel, pick sRGB, and make sure this is ticked as linearized working space. Click OK. That's one thing we need to do. The second thing we're going to do is to apply that open color system or the configuration into our sequence. To do that, we're going to go to Effects and Presets here, and I'm going to type OpenColorIO, and we'll drag and drop it on here. And then suddenly the Effects Controls panel opens, and it asks us to find the configuration. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to use the one that belongs to Maya. I'm going to click on here, on the man with the cog icon, and then or the character with the cog icon, and then we'll go to color management, and we have this path. Now, if yours doesn't have, if it's not like this, if you can't see this path, let me just reset this. Okay. Okay, most likely you will have this. And if I go to this drop down arrow browse, it should take me to the right folder. Now, if you can't see this, you have to look for Program Files, Autodesk, Maya 2022, Resources, OCO Configuration, Maya 2022 Default. So this is the path that we need. Basically, we need the path that takes us to Maya's resources in your C drive and find the Maya 22 -default folder where the OCIO file resides. So let's copy this one, and let's go to After Effects. And then whilst the effect window is open, if you somehow couldn't see it, just click on here and then custom. And all you have to do is just click on the slug line, Control V, because we already copied it, and click on the OCIO. That's it. And then click on display. And suddenly you will see that the image is darker. And then the input space is sRGB. Sorry, ACES CG, which is this one. This is what we have in Maya. And the display is sRGB. And the view, what we're supposed to be seeing here is ACES 1.0. So we try to replicate what we have in Maya. The only trouble is obviously After Effects has got this thing, I think some form of a gamma shift. And it kind of changes the image again. It looks nice, but we lost those colors. And the next thing we're going to do, we're going to reverse this back so that we can actually see what we were seeing in Maya's render view. So to do that, we'll just go color profile, which is this one. Drag and drop it on that again. So we've got a second effect. And our input profile, now we're taking everything to sRGB. Output profile, sRGB. And finally, we're going to linearize the output profile. That's it. Now, if I bring Maya's renderer back, let's compare them both. So this is cool. Colors are the same. Okay. And we could just make this full screen. Let's pick some of these. Okay, so highlights are highlights, highlights are highlights nicely. Plastic color. This one is important. So it all works. Anyway, once we're done with this, let's go back to After Effects again. Obviously, for the sake of speeding this up, I want to render 24 frames. So this is how far the animation goes. Once everything is done, the next thing we're going to do is go to Composition, add to Render Queue, and then in here we're going to go to Output Model or Module, and Format. Let's change it to QuickTime. I don't want any audio. We don't have audio, so let's click on that one and turn it off. And that's the file format, and or the container, and let's click on the format option. And here I want to pick animation. I'm a PC user. Animation works well in my case. You could try the same. Apple ProRes, I think the 422 or 422 HQ can work as well, but animation codec works for me quite well. Click OK, OK again. And then finally it asks you where to save it. And I'm just going to click on the output to. And there I'm going to call this final teapot turntable. It's an MOV. Save. And then render it. That's it. I'll go to the images folder where I saved it. final teapot. Now you can test this in several different players. So I'm going to start with QuickTime. If you don't have QuickTime, you can try it in others. So this is not quite fine, and I'll minimize this and show it, compare it with After Effects. Okay, I could also try it in let's see how it looks in this one. I don't know if it's got the right codec to play it. This doesn't, so let me just play it in VLC. And in the meantime, yeah, VLC is fine. No blotchiness, no artifacts. I'll also play it in ACG player. Now this is on a trial version. It comes up with lots of adverts. It's a bit annoying. Let's see. Okay, and that's fine too. I don't know how Windows Media Player is reacting, because I think I don't have the right QuickTime codec for this one, but let's see what it does. That's fine, at least it plays in VLC. So yeah, this is it really. So this is a submission. This is how you import an image sequence from Maya to After Effects and go through the ACES workflow, or the color management workflow. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.